Hey, what we have here is the Kugoo 500 watt scooter. These came up on a flash deal from GeekBuy. First time purchasing from them, geekbuy.com. it's uh, it's a Chinese owned site. They do have some stock in the US. You will notice on their website that they have some stock outside of the US. But these were on sale, and I had never heard of the Kugoo scooters. There's not very much out there um, for information on these, so I figured I'd give it a shot. It looks like I mean, at first glance, I got a new one. It seems to have come with the actual Kugoo tape. I don't think you could fake that, and it doesn't look like it was open. So this is the 500 watt one, and they were running sales on both the 500 and the 250. So basically a M365 competitor. And then also this would have been the G30 Max with the larger battery competitor that they're going after. But there's some distinct differences that puts this kind of in its own category that's not available on a lot of scooters. These went on sale for $3.99. It was the cheapest one I could find at that price, or at that battery pack, and also 10-inch tires. I'm not new to scooters. See here, there is an original M365. These Hurleys, when they come on sale, phew, those things are a steal. You can get one of those, but they're only the 250 watt. Smaller battery packs. I think those are like 15 amp hour. I don't know what these are. These are the next size bigger. So whatever the 40-mile range G30 Maxes are, that's what this is. That's that category. These are kind of that size of battery. And then that's the kids 9-bot. So this is, let's go ahead and go through the unboxing. Haven't opened it yet, and see if they actually gave me a new one. Should be new. So, and cut it open. Try and do this one-handed. Box in a box. Ha! If you look at the other, there's one more YouTube video out there that shows the same thing, where they put a box in a box. So hang on, let me pause this. Okay, here's the box actually opened. Box in a box. Kind of weird that they do that. You don't need to do that. But it looks like it's bagged. Let's see what we got here. This is probably a charger. Yep, charger. Looks like we've got a little toolkit, instruction manual. Go ahead and set these over here. Reasonably well packed. One dead giveaway on these scooters, if you've gotten a used one, is if the tires look used. I don't know, first glance it looks new. So let me get it pulled out of the box and kind of partly put together and show you what I got. So here we go. It's kind of neat looking. So first impressions, the first thing I want to take a note on is this a new scooter? I say yes. It is not a refurbished. It's not been returned. There's nothing on this. There's no footprints on this board. These tires definitely look new. They got the nubs on them. There's no dust or dirt on them. And it came actually very well packed. I like the packing that they did with this. It's very simple. Pulled it out. The handlebars were in one little, this was kind of tucked down around the frame, keeping it rattling around, and you just pulled it out, pulled this piece off, pulled it right out, and that was it. Don't do anything silly with packing. So good job, Kugoo. So next, there isn't much to put together on this. So let me go ahead and throw the handlebars on it. And then we'll come back and I'll give you a little rundown of, can you pick up what's kind of different about this one compared to the 365, or not the 365, the 9-bot G30 Max, which is, again, it's this size, this battery pack size, but there's a couple of distinct differences here. All right, I've been with this all of 5 minutes, and it's already very interesting scooter at the very least. So first things I'm going to point out is, one, this is a front motor with rear disc brakes. I don't know if you picked that up, but there's not many out there with this configuration at this size. 10-inch tires, supposed to do 50 mile. It's an advertised 50-mile range. I wouldn't expect any more than 25 miles, half of that. Let's see some other things that I'm noticing on this. The build quality is, at first glance, is okay. It's actually, well, actually kind of decent. The only thing to put it together is you've got a cable inside here. You got to put together on underneath the for the handlebar and the display. 2 screws to put in, and that's it. We've got a hook up here. The folding mechanism is different here, and that was one of the things that I'm going to keep an eye on with this scooter. I don't care for the way these fold. If you look at the way they're manufacturing these scooters, the folding mechanism is actually a structural member. So when you stand on it in the unfolded position, you're putting a lot of force on that folding mechanism, and that's why a lot of the other scooters have went away from that design, and the original M365 wasn't like that. So if you look at like an M365 or any of the clones, just the handlebars fold. That's not a structural member with your weight. That section of the scooter stays in place. So I can see that part failing, but again, for the price, you got to remember, we're in this for at a specific price. It's about 30 to 40% less than a 9-bot version. It has rear suspension. I believe it has front suspension right in the fork tube, but it's definitely got rear suspension. The other thing I'm noticing is there is a lot of plastic all over this thing. So this is aluminum, but these are plastic. This is plastic. You got plastic covers here. They're kind of on there. They're probably going to come off. We've got these big plastic covers over this. Big plastic. Well, it's a fairly thick front fender. This is plastic. Is that plastic? Yeah, that's a plastic cover over probably a cast aluminum housing. It's got this little plastic thing over the kickstand, but this isn't. This is metal. So again, when they start putting plastic everywhere, you know, when you look at, like, say, the original, the original, you can't beat the originals. The original, all of the outside structure was part of the frame, which was aluminum. So it's held up. Yeah, that little part there is plastic, and the fender is plastic. The fenders do tend to break. That one's original. But the rest of the scooter is aluminum. The same with these. It's all aluminum. It has a wood deck from Hurley. But here they've done a plastic deck, so it's probably going to scratch up, whatnot. We've got plastic up here. This is plastic. This is aluminum. Decent grips. My belt works. Rear brakes. Oh, and she's heavy. She's got some gravity to her. I do like that they wrapped that nicely, the wire, the cable that goes down through the neck. Let's see what else we got here. We got a light up there. Oh, I just had it on. It's actually, again, very interesting scooter. So push and hold. Have not rode it yet. Got some really fancy lights on either side. Those are kind of neat. We got lights that show up back here in the rear. Okay. And this scooter is supposed to have a 0 start mode. Right now it's showing kilometers. I'll get back with you, let you know if I can switch that over to miles per hour. I would love to switch that over to miles per hour. So I'm pushing the throttle and it's not going. It's supposed to have a 0 start mode. So the other scooters that I have, you have to kick to go. I'm assuming that's the way this one's set up right out of the box. I'm gonna take a look at, they advertise a 0 start mode. I would love to be able to just give it throttle and have the thing take off. Oh, one more thing on the build that I noticed. So the rear wheel is an aluminum wheel with a 10-inch tire. I would assume. This is the first time I've ever seen. This is a steel rim. Really cheaped out there. And it's even got some Chinese writing there. But that's the hub. The motor's in the front, the hub motor. But it's really interesting that they went with a steel wheel. You know, they could save quite a bit of weight. Or just go with a standard hub motor where the whole thing's aluminum. Weird. Weird. Just weird to say the least. Check out the tread pattern on these tires. Those are some chonky tires. So anyway, back here to our dashboard, we've got all kinds of lights. So if you push this once, we get a turn signal. Front and rear. Check that out. Turn it off, turn that one on. Front and rear turn signals. I think it was 2 clicks. Oh, get my headlights. 3 headlights. So yeah, you get them at the tops, the bottoms. Never seen that before with the lights down at the bottom. That's different. And let's see, what else did I learn? Haven't opened the manual up yet. Okay, so I'm gonna, it looks like it's charged reasonably well. I could take it out for a ride now, but I think I will plug it in and charge it. Looks like the charge port is down here. It's got a cover over it. Oh, the locking mechanism. The way this works for locking is you actually have to pull up on this. I'm not gonna fold it because I'm holding the phone and it's kind of heavy. But you pull up on this, rotate this out, the scooter will want to collapse, the handlebars will come down, and then you push this back up into while the handlebars in the back lock position. Fairly easy to fold. The folding section does feel nice and tight. Each company is not without their faults. This style here, so the Hurley actually matched what was on the Xiaomi. The original M365, mine has not failed. That's all original in there. You just have to maintenance that. You have to make sure you tighten that when it gets loose, because the handlebars will start rattling back and forth a little bit. There's a little nut and bracket in there. You pop it loose, tighten it up to where it's tight. When you fold up the lever, they're fine. This one, we'll have to see how it wears. One of the big problems with buying a scooter like this, I mean, any off-brand scooter, is that replacement parts are going to be non-existent. They're trying to make a name for themselves in the US, so so is 100 other scooter manufacturers, electric e-bike manufacturers at this point. Whether they will succeed or not, remains to be remains to be said. But just like that Jant Snow e-bike that I have sitting there, I, something like this, I can DIY a solution if something goes on that. Something fails on this, I don't know if I'll be able to DIY something to repair it. On the other hand, nothing has failed on either of these other scooters. All three of these. Nothing has failed on those. And that poor M365 is going on 7 years old. And I've not been very kind to it, other than I've had to put several tires on it. So I finally went to airless tires on that scooter. So we'll see how this goes. If I get around to it, I'll do a little bit of riding, maybe a little bit of a ride video to go over but from what I see starting out, it's kind of a neat scooter. So there it is.